Hey everyone, welcome back to the Boss Podcast. Today, who's the boss? It is with great pleasure. I met this gentleman years ago at a Richie Resells meetup in, I believe it was Brooklyn, New York. This man is one of the kindest, nicest, most humble Amazon sellers that you'll probably ever come across if you meet him in person. He goes by I am Mike on Instagram, and you'll see how he spells his name. So don't get it twisted. But I like to call him Big Mike. Everybody, I just want to introduce you guys. Who's the boss today? We got AKA Big Mike in the building.
Sir.
Say what's up, Big Mike. What up, Mike?
What's going on, everybody?
Welcome to the show, man.
Finally, man. This is beautiful, brother.
Man, the last time we've talked on the phone, and the last time we've really seen each other face to face, we've had like little Instagram calls and stuff like that. But the last time we've actually really sat and talked was probably back in New York.
Yeah. What? Yeah, face to face. Yeah, I don't think I ever saw you besides that.
But yeah, and we had Instagram stuff and everything. How you doing today?
I'm doing awesome, man.
Chilling. You busy?
Yes, sir. I was looking forward to this. Yeah, I got some calls going on. Some orders got to be fulfilled, you know?
Man, I appreciate you being here with us.
No problem, man. Thank you for having me, brother.
So why don't you tell everybody real quick, if you want to give everybody a rundown, who are you and what do you do?
I am a philosopher. No. Nah.
A comedian too.
Yeah. So basically, I sell on Amazon. We have a wholesale company as well. That's what I do every day. I'm a father. I'm a fiance, soon-to-be husband. Trying to figure this life thing out, brother. That's it.
Can you tell everybody, what did you do? Because I like to get this question out of the way. The sooner the better. What was the revenue you did last year selling on Amazon?
Last year we did just under 3 million.
This
yeah, just Amazon too. Total was just under 4. It was like 3.9 with both of my businesses.
So you did 4 million. Don't be humble and be like 3 million. You did pretty much 4 million.
Yeah, I know, but you know how it goes, man. You see, like, this is something I struggle with, is like you see Amazon led or these bigger companies do that shit in a month. And it's just like, you know, like it's just like, damn, I feel like I've been running on these steps forever. And it's like, it's a forever staircase though, you know?
Now,
it's forever uphill, man.
What did you do? You started out with retail arbitrage, or did you jump right into wholesale?
I started off with books.
Okay.
Strictly books. I started in 2017. I saw Reezy on Gary V's podcast, or Gary V shouted out Reezy. Just like it gotta be like 10,000 of us that started that way. And
all of us. I started with books too.
Exactly. So it was just like I was working as a custodian, and I was like, man, like before I discovered even that clip about selling on Amazon, I'm like, I gotta do something. I remember it was like January, February of 2017. And I was just like, I got to do something. And then I saw that clip and I said, you know, I was like, fuck it. What do I got to lose? The books cost $1. The platform, I didn't even have an FBA account. Like I did a strictly merchant fulfilled. So I was like, what do I got to lose?
Whoa, hold on. Did you say you were doing merchant fulfilled books?
Dude, I did merchant fulfilled for 2 years.
I've never done merchant fulfilled books. I was always nervous to.
I was nervous to send them in. Bro, and hold on. This is the thing, right? When I started, okay, I was a custodian. I was making $500 a week. No sales background, no nothing background, right? I did like landscaping and all that stuff. And the first thing I did before I bought anything was I created the accounts, right? And I'll just like navigate the like eBay. I started with eBay and Amazon. And then I started just for like 2 months. I just watched Richie Resale. Like that's all I did. So like when I finished what I had to do at my job, there was a lot of downtime. So I'll just sit there and watch YouTube, listen to podcasts. That's all I did for 2 months. I didn't have a printer. I didn't own a computer. I didn't have nothing, just my cell phone. So basically what I used to do was when I bought something, I used to steal index cards from the school, right? And that's what I used to write, the to and from. I used to handwrite the addresses and use manila envelopes to send the books out to customers. That's how I started handwriting. I did that shit for like 18 months.
So I only sent in books FBA, and I know you said you were scared to send them in, but I always felt like, because like back in the day, like I started selling on Amazon in 2018. From at that time, it seemed like Amazon was favoring FBA sellers over FBM sellers before they kind of leveled the playing field a few years later. Did you ever consider sending books FBA, or you were just like, you know what, I'm gonna grab these books and I'm just gonna sell them like this until I build up some funds and then kind of move on to something else?
You know what it is? It was just like, all right, like when I started, right? I didn't have, like I said, I didn't have a computer, I didn't have anything. So anytime I sold a book, I took that money, all my disbursements from Amazon, and I just put them into my savings. I never had a savings before Amazon. So I'm like, you know what? I looked at Amazon as like a bank account with interest, like an investment vehicle that will give me a return on my money, and I put it in savings. So that's all I did. I didn't even think about buying a computer. I didn't do nothing. I just used my phone for the like entire like 15, 16 months. It's all I did. Do handwritten to and froms, like everything, dude. Like going to a post office, standing in line.
That's wild.
Everything. Mind you, I started my first year, I did 11,000 in sales. So I don't even know how many books I sold, but when you think about it, that's still a lot of books. Like
that's a shit ton of books, dude.
Yeah, so
and they're not light either, man. These books weigh,
no,
you're
dude.
bringing 40-50 pound boxes. You know what I mean?
So, but no, I'm bringing them individually wrapped. So I'm like looking crazy as hell, bro. So, and then the next year I did 40,000 in sales, right? Same thing. I was doing the same thing. And then I don't know. I was like, you know what? Let me try this FBA thing. It wasn't because like I was afraid or anything. I just didn't know. I didn't research it. I just researched how to sell on Amazon, and then I fell into the merchant fulfilled way. So it was just like I was like, you know what? Let me try it. And like I bought a $200 Chromebook. Like they're basically like laptop cell phones.
Yeah.
$200 is all you need, dude. You don't need nothing crazy. And then my mom's like, oh, we got a print, because I was still living at home. My mom, she's like, we got a printer downstairs. So I had a printer from like 2005. I was like, fuck it. And then that revolutionized, because like now I'm like, I'll send in, 200 books a week or something, and they're not taking up no space.
So
I have bookshelves in my like a spare bedroom, like bookshelves everywhere, just trying to find. Sometimes I'll cancel orders because I couldn't find the book, and then like the next day I'd be like, God damn it, there it is, because I thought the book looked a certain way. So
did you use paper labels when you were printing out like labels, like shipping labels? Were you using paper labels? Because I remember using paper labels when I was sending it to FBI. I didn't start out with like thermal labels.
Oh, thermal, yeah. No. I used to get the sheets. I used to order from UPS.
Sheesh.
And get them for free. You get the sheets. I used to use the sheets, the 30 up sheets and all that shit.
Yo, and a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people still don't know that, man. They don't know that they could get supplies. Obviously you're limited, but still you can get supplies from UPS and even the post office. But the post office, you might have a little bit of trouble because
So what you do with the post? This is what I do, especially for merchant fulfilled stuff. I order those bubble mailers from the USPS. You could get like 300 of each kind. I order those often because I sell like 10 packs of nail polish and stuff like that. And instead of buying the material, I put them in those bubble wraps, and I just use like 2 or 3 of them. And, we send them merchant fulfilled that way for like stuff like that. Or if you need, just certain, like their boxes, we cut their boxes up all the time just to have like a nice piece of cardboard on top. So if they slice into the box, they're not cutting the products. Like that's a very, very, I think I learned that from Reezy, actually, from Mike, because now you can't buy the thermal. You used to be able to get like 5,000 labels for them for free every month, and you can't do that no more. That sucks. But
man, I always, it's funny because you said that you looked at it like what did you say? You said when you were buying these products, you were trying to like get that profit, and the one thing that I always looked at it as, I always looked at FBA because I only did. It took me a long time to start even doing FBM because I was like, I don't want to package and ship them because I had already done that with eBay prior, and I was like, I don't want that. You know what I mean? So I was like, I always looked at FBA and doing retail arbitrage as like selling drugs, like flipping. Like the product
Yeah.
was the drug. You would obtain the drug, you buy the drug or the product at a cost. You want to flip it for profit, take the profit, reinvest. It's just like I used to call it legal drug dealing. It
Hey,
was just like you know, and you just that's the whole premise
but that's the
of
whole
selling.
business
Mm-hmm.
of anything, dude. Like a
Mm-hmm.
car dealership or like anything, you name it. That's it. If you're selling the product, that's exactly what you're doing. You're buying for a lower cost than you're selling it for, and you're eating
Now
in between the margin.
you did books for what? You did books for a couple years.
I did books for all of 2017, 2018, and then in 2019, right before I think January. Every January, I try to start something new, right? Like something that like, and for some people, like look, like I said, my first year 11,000 in sales, second year was 40,000 in sales, third year 240. So now we're talking about the third year, 240,000 in sales.
It's a huge jump.
Yeah, it is. And 11 to 40 for me was insane too. Because books or the margins were like, I mean, I pocketed like $20,000 that year, pay no taxes. I'm like, this is great, you know? So, but
Not
so
tax advice. No tax advice.
no, but you know how it goes.
I know
You
what you're
got
saying.
your
I know what
car
you're
took
saying.
a beating, man. That's a lot
Yeah,
of goodwill
of
drive.
course, of
So
course.
the third year, I think that's when I started retail arbitrage. I started going to like Job Lot, like all the closeout kind of stores,
Okay.
Job Lot, Marshalls, TJ Maxx.
Did you ever go to
I didn't
Walmart?
even start Hollies. Walmart. The problem with Walmart for me is like what I see you buy stuff for. It was never like that at where I'm at. Like never. Do we never had great clearances? There'll be unicorn items once in a while. The prices tank by the time you send it in. A lot of that happened. So, but my goal was replenishables.
Hell yeah.
Like I went in with a target. Like I'm not just going to buy a one-off item here. I want to buy stuff that I can continue to go every week or every month and purchase these products. It was a learning curve doing that, but that's what I essentially did. I spent 2 years doing that. COVID was kind of like just a gimme because everything was just profitable, like ridiculous.
COVID was
Um,
crazy, man.
yeah, that was our first $1 million year. That's when I went full time too.
Everybody was home spending their stimulus. They were shopping online.
Mhm.
They was just they were working from home. It was a good time. Like my best selling product ever happened during COVID, and it wasn't hand sanitizer, it wasn't masks, it wasn't antibacterial cleaner,
Swimming
it
pools.
wasn't any of that, bro. It was it was bathroom soap scum cleaner method,
Oh wow.
68 ounce, those 68-ounce clear bottles that you would refill like the spray bottles with.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was soap scum removal. So you spray it on your shower to wipe off the soap scum, whatever. And it was like eucalyptus, and it was full price at the time. It was $6.49 full price.
What was
I
the
was
brand you said? Method?
method.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Method was big during
I
COVID.
ordered 50 large boxes that contained, I think it was like 6 cases came because they were really heavy. All I know is the delivery guy came in a FedEx truck, but it wasn't a FedEx truck. It was like a Penske truck. They had to
Yeah.
get one of those rental trucks to deliver all the boxes. And I always talk about this. I did almost $200,000 on that one product.
Wow.
And I was just going at the Target, buying it full price, selling it on
Yeah.
Amazon for $30 to $35. It wasn't even a clearance item. It wasn't anything. I was just going, filling my cart up with it was just wild. 19 was a wild time, man, for
Yeah.
resellers.
Yeah. You mean 2020?
Yeah. Well, like COVID-19, I meant.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, no,
2020,
dude.
21, man, it was a wild, wild time.
You know who really popped it off for me? It was Reezy. Because I'm like, he never did $1 million in sales, like in 1 year. He did like 5 million over, at the time, he did 5 million in collective sales. He was selling for a while.
Mhm.
and he was like posting his sales. I'm like, damn, what the hell is he selling? And I hit him up. I'm like, man, I was like, but this is the thing about, you know, social media and being connected to people and the same thing that you're doing, because I'm like, bro, what are you selling? Like, you know,
Did he tell
like
you?
you're way over there. It's moving so fast. It won't affect you if I'm way over here. He's on the West Coast. I'm on the East Coast. So he's like, vitamins, man. That's all he had to say was vitamins. Went straight to Walmart with my brother. They were trying to limit it, bro. We would go like we were changing costumes, like have different outfits in the car. Like, dude, I did the week. I swear to God, dude, we were changing clothes, going back into the same store. That happened. Okay, right that week COVID happened was when I had to be back at work. My daughter was born in December. I got 3 months of leave, unpaid leave. So I showed up to work, and I was just like, man, why the hell am I here? You know, like I'm making more money
Exactly.
selling
Right.
on Amazon, you know, but everybody,
Right.
don't quit. You got a great job with great benefits. And I'm like,
Yep.
what are you talking about? Like I making way more money, you know, even
That's how everybody said it to me.
even at 240,000 in sales, I was making enough. Like, but the thing was, I never spent any of my Amazon money. Only I kept it only in Amazon. I never touched any of it for 3 years.
Just
But
kept reinvesting.
yeah, that's all I did. And so that's why when retail arbitrage, when I jumped into that, I had enough capital to make some mistakes, and you know, like I wasn't spending all my money. So
Speaking of mistakes, what are some of the mistakes that you've made that you could let somebody else know to not make? If you were to pick like your top 3 mistakes that you're like, shit, whether it's like something that's real petty or something that's like major. Like what are some of those mistakes that you could tell somebody else to maybe help somebody else avoid if they're doing retail arbitrage selling on Amazon?
one thing that I feel like that helped me. See, we're gonna go in a positive direction with it, right? Because I'm a very cautious guy, man. Like I didn't invest. I didn't take on debt until last year. So I did in the book. I had $1 million years, like every year, you know, multi-million-dollar years. Last year was the first year we actually took on debt. I didn't
Hmm.
take on any loans, nothing. It was just straight cash. And I realized that, you know, if you want to grow, you got to take on some debt. But let's go back to retail arbitrage. I think that people scan stuff in stores, and I had like I mentored, you know, a couple different people that were local to me that I met through friends and stuff like that. And their biggest mistake was they see something's profitable and they just buy it all. You know, like they'll take all 300 units on the shelf in the store in the Ollie's. They'll
Mhm.
buy it
Mhm.
all, and then you know the price ends up tanking, or they get kicked off of the listing or something like that, and they put too much money into one item.
Yep.
When I started, okay, with retail arbitrage, when I tell you turtle step, bro, I'm the tortoise. I would buy. I don't care how good. All right, for instance, there was this item in Christmas tree shop. I don't think Christmas tree shop's in business no more. They're not in business where I am.
Mhm.
But Christmas tree shop was like the spot because you could order from them like they're a BJ's. You could literally
Hmm.
place wholesale orders with them, and nobody knew about that. And I took full advantage of that during COVID.
Interesting.
But there was bubbles. There were like 64-ounce bubbles, $2 a piece, selling for $25 on Amazon. Right,
I'm dead. I'm dead with
dude.
that one.
I'm like,
$2 sell it for 25. I
yeah.
love
And
it. I
dude,
love
when
it.
I mean you can buy truckloads of this shit, it moves so fast.
Yeah.
You know how many I bought in the store?
10,000.
12 to
12,000.
start. No. I'm saying to start.
12, like
The
1, 2.
graph showed me like I could buy as many as I want. I
Yep.
said, no, you're not going to get me. I'm only going to buy 12.
Okay.
Right. So I bought the 12. I sent them in. I shit you not. This is when, before, I don't know if you ever saw this happen during FBA back in the day. You'll list the shit as you're boxing it is selling. Did it ever happen to you?
I mean, when I was going to get those ices around Florida, I was buying them and I was merchant fulfilling them and they were selling before I could get to the next store to buy more.
But this is when I'm telling you, this is what I knew that this is how I knew that was a great item, because
Mhm.
I listed them FBA. I'm boxing them. I just put the labels on them. I'm about to put them in my Ford Explorer, and they all sold, all 12 units. I was like, what the fuck?
Did you go back?
I went back and then I hit every single fucking dude. Bubbles are heavy. 64-ounce bubbles are heavy.
Yeah, they are.
Dude, I went
I'm telling you,
around
Joe, the method was 68 ounces. So I know they were big
yeah,
bottles.
exactly. So I went around all of Connecticut, everywhere, New York, everywhere, like just scooped them all up. And then I finally met a manager here in Orange. No, it was like an hour away from me in Connecticut though. And she's like, you know, you could just order this stuff, right? And I was like, I can. They're like, yeah. They're like, we got 3,600 units in stock. I'm like, let's do it. I was like, give it. And then I had another item, a pool item. It was like the blow up pools during COVID. Those things were like,
Yep.
buying for $20, selling for $90. Like shipping sometimes only $13. I
Chlorine
fulfilled them.
tablets. Oh
Yeah,
man.
dude, all that stuff. But what I'll tell people, is not that like you're gonna make mistakes, and you should be making mistakes. If you're not making mistakes, you're not trying enough things. You're gonna make mistakes, but sometimes like just, and I'm a gambling man, you know, but it's just like this is your real money. This is your money. It's your nest egg you've been building up. This is something like your investment. You know, if you're not sure, just buy a couple of units. The worst thing is they sell out fast. You make some money, you can't find no more. You're better off always being in that position than to buying too much and being stuck with it. That's a way worse position to be in. So
that's true, especially because if you can't
advice.
return it.
Exactly. And if you got somebody like my nephew now, this kid, so charismatic, he could return shit with no receipt, with no nothing. Bought it 3 years ago. I don't know how he does it. I'm telling you, he came back, dude, with thousands. When I first hired him, he's like, I'll take it back. Dude, he went to BJ's and got like, I bought like from BJ's like the what are they called? The bug zapper lights.
Okay.
Dyna something. I had a bunch of those, and I paid like, I think at the time it was like $80, and I had them for like 2 years. I had a ton of them. He went there, okay, and got store credit from them, or they put it back on my credit card for like $120 a piece, full price.
Dang.
I'm like, dude, I like he with every store. He's like, I don't know, he's just a great kid. I tell him he got to get into sales all the time, and you know,
Well,
he's young.
that sounds like it's another life hack. That sounds like a life hack in itself.
Yeah, but no, returning stuff is huge, man. Like if you could do it, that's a great benefit. Like Job Lot's a place you could do it if you keep your receipts. You know, they don't give you a hard time at all. I return stuff from distributors.
Well, speaking of
sold there.
Speaking of receipts, what do you do to get ungated with a lot of the brands that you were selling? Did you find yourself getting stuck, I guess, or being in that category of I like to call them Amazon FBA complainers, like the wine, I can't get ungated, I can't sell Under Armour, I can't sell Nike, my life is over. Like how did you? Obviously, you couldn't sell everything, right? So, like, did you come across?
No, I couldn't sell nothing when I started. Just like
so, how did you
else.
sell? So, how were you selling 40,000, 240,000?
I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you. This is how I did it.
How'd you do it?
All right. I'll walk in the aisle. I will scan every single item, right? Every single item. Scan it, get ungated for this, still can't for this, like everything, right? And then I'll put fucking blinders on to everything I can't sell, and I'll focus on what I can sell.
Thank you.
All I did.
I need to put like fucking balloons, and I've been preaching that shit forever. I used to be like, shut the fuck up about what you can't sell and just focus on what you can sell and sell a lot of it. It's a simple formula.
That's it. All you could do is focus on what you can control, right?
That's it. That's right.
Now,
100%.
Somebody else may be a little bit more ambitious than me and everything. They'll go seek it, you know.
Sure.
Like I said, I had somebody I was mentoring, just started off fresh month. He was already ungated in Adidas. Like all these brands I couldn't sell at the time, like helping him out because he went and found a place online, bought some units from them,
East Bay.
like a Adidas cologne for like $6 and got ungated. I have never done that. Only in toy categories I did.
Okay.
Because toy categories, for some reason, like, man, it was hard to get ungated in Legos and all that. It all happened organically for
So
me.
how did you get ungated in some of the toy brands? What did you
Organically.
do? So just over time, just making your sales, and eventually you got auto ungated?
Yeah, so for like Lego, Funko Pop, I think I still can't sell Funko Pop, bro.
Really?
I'm telling you.
I get a distributor I can give you. It's easy.
No, but
It was one
it's
of
a,
my first
I don't,
brands.
I never run into them, and if I do, it's going to be on a distributor list that it would work.
Okay.
But it's just like certain brands I still can't sell. I'm
I
listening.
got ungated in Lego by a Lego book through a book distributor. And this particular book was listed under Lego, but under toys, because on this book, there was a little plastic piece on the front that contained actual Legos.
Like a Lego piece, a little Lego
Yes,
guy,
Lego pieces.
a
So
little YMCA Lego
I
guy.
bought 12 of them. I always bought 12 instead of 10 just to make sure.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
and then that's how I got to get it in Lego.
No, dude, that's how I got ungated in Disney, was through, I think, a book from what's it called? Costco's. Costco's, you know how Costco's got all the books.
Mm-hmm.
I found a Disney book and I was like, you know what? Let me try it out. I bought some and it worked.
Yeah, but listen,
Costco's.
Amazon is playing games, man. Because I can remember times where Nike, for instance, I would get ungated in Nike, capital N, capital I, capital K, capital E, and then I'd
Yeah.
be in Marshall scanning, and then it would come up Nike that I was gated. I'm like, why am I gated? I'm ungated, but this was lowercase n, lowercase I, lowercase
It's two
k.
different things on Amazon. That's the
Yeah, and then
thing.
I got ungated in that because I sent the same invoice as the other one. Okay. And they ungated me in that. And then I got stuck again because it was capital N, lowercase I,
Lowercase.
lowercase K. I'm like, this is crazy. The reason why I tell you that is
Yeah.
because you mentioned Disney. Bro, I had an issue. I had to get ungated in Disney, lowercase D Disney. I had to get ungated in Disney Princess. I had to get ungated in Disney Magic Kingdom. I had to get ungated in there was so many sub Disneys. It was pissing me off so bad. I was like, I
Yeah.
don't even want to sell Disney. I was like, fuck this.
No, that's the thing. Like, that's a whole game, though. That's like a part of it. So, like, I never wanted to be ungated in anything unless it was something I was running into repeatedly that I'm like,
Yep.
damn, this is profitable. All right, let me look into it. I'm not
Right.
like, you see a lot of people, like, especially during our era when we first started,
Yep.
Nike shoes at the outlet and all
Yes.
this. Dude, I started with Nautica from motherfucking Marshalls, dog. Like, straight returns every time. I'm like, fuck shoes. And most of these guys will contest to it. Shoes on Amazon, the return rate is astronomical.
Yeah, but I have to
Worth
tell you, man, I've sold shoes, and I shoes were probably some of my most profitable items. And
No, some of them, yeah.
but
I don't know. For
I
me,
really didn't get a lot. I got some returns, but then again, I didn't go all in. I didn't go all in, like, for instance, like Reezy would go all in and buy 3-4 cartfuls and like stack his truck full of Nike. I never went like that.
yeah.
But I did buy some shoes, and especially Adidas was probably one of my top sellers in like Nike cleats. But yeah, I mean, it was, retail arbitrage is cool. It's a good stepping stone.
It's fun, man. That shit is like hunting. It's like what's it called? Like tag sailing on like steroids, man.
But then you got to make a decision. I feel like every retail arbitrage and online arbitrage person needs to make a decision at some point. Because listen, people will argue with me about you can scale OA and you can scale RA, but literally your business is only as good as the next deal that comes along. So you have to constantly be looking for new shit. And some people don't mind doing that. But in reality, if you really want to like scale up, you're gonna have to make two decisions. One, you're gonna have to go wholesale, or two, you're gonna have to stop selling on Amazon and go fucking do something else. You chose
There's
wholesale.
a third option.
What's the third option?
The third option is I was listening to Scott. I think it's I don't know his last name. I think it's Needham, Scott Needham.
Oh yeah. He's the one that he has
Fly
the
boxer. Smart Scout.
Is it smart? It's something like
Smart
that.
Scout
Shout out
or
Scott Needy, man. Sorry, you probably won't watch this anyways, but if you do,
yeah.
sorry.
Well, him, I used to listen to his podcast, and he had somebody on it that did retail arbitrage on a whole other level, man. Like he had crews of people going out. So like as long as you teach somebody how to scan and you're not doing it, dude, you're paying them less as long as they're coming back with a profit, dude. And then sometimes it's way better to have a second pair of eyes because it's just like they might look at something and know, like my brother, for instance, those swimming pools, there were like those, the balloons that you like put on the hose and it's like 300 of
Yeah,
them.
yeah. Yep.
Those like things I would not even look at. He's like, dude, look at these. Like, and I'm like, I'll scan them. Like, oh shit, it's my best selling product for the month. Like my brother contributed to a lot of my best selling goods, man. Like he had an eye that I'm so focused on what I'm looking for that he was with me in the stores, and he'll be just looking where I'm not, and he'll find some great products. Like I'll find the stuff that's gonna pay the bills and get us where we got hit, but he finds the shit that's like the butter. Like it's like wow. So it's always good to have a second pair of eyes. But that would be my third option is like if you could train, if you're good at delegating. Like I was never really good at delegating.
Me neither.
I'm still struggling with it heavy. If you're good at it, man, like there's some people that are just natural at finding the right people to do the right job, and that retail arbitrage. Dude, when I think about it, we're doing with retail arbitrage 240,000 a month, between 180 to 240 a month in sales. I left all that money out there. I stopped going to the stores. So somebody's business grew, and I didn't want to leave that money out there, like I really didn't, but I just couldn't focus on that no more because like I just couldn't do it. But technically all I really had to do was go to a Costco's with my nephew or somebody else to sit there and take the time to teach them all the data and everything like that. And, I could still have that money coming in without even having to be out there.
So you did retail arbitrage, and you decided to move into wholesale, right? Is that correct?
Yeah.
Now, I
I was
know.
dabbling with both for like probably 8 months. I
So
wouldn't even say a whole
simultaneously,
year.
you doing retail arbitrage and you were doing wholesale at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
And I
that's a big
traded it,
task.
and I treated wholesale like retail arbitrage. So let me explain. I would go to my distributors and I'll be like, wow, like, I always made it a thing for at least the first year or the first time. I only dealt with local distributors in like the tri-state area, nothing out of like 2.5 hour drive. Basically what I'll do is I'll put an order in and I go pick it up by myself. I'll go rent the truck. I'll go pick it up. Yeah, it's cheaper, better off. I don't have to go out there for a day, but they get to see my face. And I learned that with retail arbitrage, if I walked into any job lot in my area or anywhere that, I knew all the managers, they knew me. I had backroom access for like Ollie's, for instance. Literally call me and say, hey, we got a shipment of toys. Do you want to come in? Yes, absolutely. And I get backroom access before they even put it out. So I took that same business model that helped me to become successful at retail arbitrage, and I did it with wholesale. And you gotta realize, man, you go into 100,000 square foot warehouse, there's a lot of products that have been sitting around that ain't even counted for in their inventory.
Well, hold on. Let's back up. Let's back up for a second. So, because you said this ginormous number for a warehouse, you said 100,000 square feet.
Yeah.
So that's a huge warehouse, is it not?
It is.
That's
And
a
that's
huge
what I'm trying to
warehouse.
say. There's a lot of products in there that the person who owns the products don't know they're there.
Don't even know they're there because you
So
just get
guess what?
lost in the sauce.
Exactly. They'll pay me.
So
Not
you
they
go
wouldn't pay
there.
me, but I will go there and say, hey, listen, let me look around, and I'll pull some stuff to the side. I'll pull it out, like, a couple boxes out to the aisle. and then we'll go negotiate. And I remember my first deal I did that, it was like, I mean, the return was like ridiculous. Like I think I bought like $10,000 worth of goods, and that was the most I've ever really spent like one location,
Mm-hmm.
and the return was like infinite.
Oh,
And the reason why I say infinite is because we went back for like a year, like every 2 weeks for like a year, and found like just gold. It seemed like gold. And I think that's what really helped me succeed up until this point, was because I was able to take $1 and turn it into $5, $6, $7, $8.
oh
You
yeah,
know,
man.
like the return on these products I was buying, there was nobody on them. They were all closeouts. Nobody was on them. Like just
And
and there would be
you
a
got
pallet of it.
access. You got access to that space just from mending relationships.
Yeah, just from showing up, saying, "Hey, my name is Michael Albuquerque," talking to the warehouse workers, and then they're going like, "Hey, do you want to meet the owner?" And I'm like, "Absolutely." And the owner comes out, and I introduce myself, and I tell him, where I'm at. I tell him exactly where I'm at and where I want to go. I don't try to be something I'm not. I don't
Mhm.
try to be like, "Oh, I'm doing millions." No, I'm like, "No,
Yeah,
this is me and my brother. I just quit my job this year, and boom, 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 and this is what we're doing." And you are your business, man. Especially when you first start, you are it. So it's like, if people fall in love with you, man, and want to see you succeed, they're gonna help you. If you're a genuine person, they're gonna help you. And I think I look at some of my distributors and mentors in this business as like guardian angels, man,
mm,
because it was just like, why are you doing this? Like, I never understood it. I'm like, why do you speak so highly of me? You're like, I'm not buying $50,000, $60,000 worth of goods off you. I'm spending like 4,000, 5,000. But when people like you, man, they want to see you succeed. They help you out.
that's right.
They'll take your calls more. They'll put things in front of you to help you succeed.
That's
And
right.
without any connections or anything like that, you got to be the one to go out and make those connections. That's where like trade shows and all that stuff come into place.
Now
But
you
I'll only go to trade shows. Really, I never found any new distributors there.
okay?
It was more about, they see me out there and they'll go, "Hey, Mike, like, yeah, they know you just spent thousands of dollars to be out here. Even if you never, maybe you only spent $3,000 with them, but they see you at the trade show. They're like, oh shit, they got a name to a face. They
So
know who you are."
I listen. I guess I've never been to ASD, but I see a lot of people going to ASD, and I know I'm going to get a lot of shit for saying what I'm about to say. But it's not the first time I've said it, and it won't be the last. When I think of ASD and I see my social media feeds, I feel like ASD. And correct me if I'm wrong, because you've gone to ASD, right?
Yes, I've been there multiple times. Every year I
Okay.
go at least once a year. I used to go twice a year. I only go once now.
And I'm sure that this ASD is full of information, but it seems like a lot of people, mostly retail arbitrage, people wanting to get into wholesale, go to Vegas because it's in Vegas. They take a lot of pictures together and say, "Yay, positivity. Let's all make business. Yay." But they ain't doing shit with
And that's
wholesale.
the truth.
They ain't
I,
doing
I, I'll
shit.
agree with you. I agree with you.
And I'm looking at a lot of, and there are some people that I know personally that are transitioning to wholesale from retail arbitrage, and they're actively doing it. But there's a lot of people that are just, I guess, want to be seen. They're like the want to be seen people. You know what I mean? Oh, I'm just going to go to ASD because I want to feel important, but they're not taking any action on that, right? So when you go to Ollie's and you're dealing with retail arbitrage, what made you transition to wholesale? Like what made you take action to be like, all right, I want to get away from retail, because you would boom both simultaneously. What made you say, hey, you know what? I need to take action. I want to take it to the next level. I want to get into wholesale because I feel like that's how I'm going to scale my business and kind of leave retail arbitrage in the dust. Like what did you do? Like how was that transition like getting into wholesale?
All right, so this is the transition, okay? Like I said, I was dabbling in both
Mhm.
for probably 8 months. And then January, I think of 2021, I just decided, right? Like I got to do wholesale. I'm going all in. And my only excuse of not going all in was RA, right? And I had a great excuse. oh, I'm not gonna be able to get the products and blah blah blah. I gotta be out there. I said, fuck it. I ate shit for 2 months. Simple and plain. I ate shit for 2 months. From January, all of January, most of February, I think ASD was in March. I've reached out to a bunch of distributors, and this is the good thing about like being in the circle with like Amazon Lit. They'll tell you, you know, little hacks of like go look at the ASD website and see all the vendors that are gonna be there, right?
Did you take their course?
Yeah,
We'll
did
talk about that after.
I don't even remember what year I signed up. I think it was like their first year that they were offering it. I signed up, and I did the mentoring too, like 8 sessions of mentoring. That's what it was when I did their mentoring before they had a course, really. But so basically, I just all that time I would take to go shopping. I still went shopping, but I cut it down. So like instead of going 5 days a week, I went 2-3 days a week, and I just had to make up more ground, you know. And then I just got on the phone a little more. I had to get out of my comfort zone, which is still, you know, I'm still learning how to pick up the phone and contact new people and stuff like that. It's not something that is natural to me at all. Once we get going talking, I'm fine. But that initial, you know, contact is like the worst for me ever. It's the worst.
But you get through it though. You
is.
truck through it though. But you truck through it.
Yeah, because I have to. There's no other way around it, you know. So, but yeah, so basically I just made a decision like this is what I want to do. I got to do it. And I went to ASD. After I placed orders with every company and picked up in person and asked for the owner. Okay? That's what I did. I placed orders with every company that I wanted to do business with that was in my area. I went and rented a Penske truck, went to their establishment, placed the order with them. Some orders were break even, some were profitable, you know, somewhere in between. And I'll ask for the owner. They come out and meet me. I'm like, hey, boom, boom, boom. Are you going to ASD next month? I act like I've been there before. I'm like, you know, yeah. Like I'll ask them if they're going and tell them good luck or whatever. And then when I get to ASD, I make sure the first thing I did is I went to each booth and I go, hey, remember me? I just came and picked up an order, boom, boom, boom. Hey, do you got anything new here? You know, like, are you offering anything new that's not on your current list? And, you know, I placed one of my largest orders and most profitable orders at ASD because of that. You know, like at the time, I think it was like $27,000. I've never bought that one order.
Right.
Dude, think about that. You're spending $27,000 just looking at this thing. Clicked. I'm like, what?
It's just a
You
click
ain't
of a
got
button,
your computer
man.
with your 3 screens, and you know,
It's
like,
literally
you
just a
know,
click of a button.
yeah. Let's keep a
You
chart.
Crazy. It's crazy,
Yeah,
man.
no, it's what we do as Amazon sellers, man. At the end of the day, if I feel like if you can withstand a risk when you're purchasing like thousands and thousands of dollars of like, especially single SKUs, like that really, like, I'm like, I got something, you know, like there's, because think about it, if you strip away Amazon, it's like, what skills do I have? I always tell myself that, like, if this shit went away tomorrow, what the hell would I do? And that's why I started a wholesale company, because I'm like, obviously I'm making money. So I have a skill. I know how to find Amazon products. And so let me transfer that into a parallel industry that go hand to hand with it. So my goal is to eventually wing off of Amazon and start my own company and get, you know, retail customers and go that way and carve my way into there. And it's not because this is my life, do I love this or nothing. It's because that's my next move.
Right.
And every year, every 2 years, you gotta pivot in this game. You gotta pivot unless you're really good at what you do. If you're really good at selling on Amazon and, you know, you want to deal with all this shit, then great. But for me, I want to have my own name. I want to have 100% say in what I do. and I can't get that with Amazon.
Now you said
You
it's
could
funny
get
because
damn
you said
close. But
you had said you had placed orders with everybody that you wanted to do business with, right? Now,
because I did business with them.
right, but
I
that's what I'm
just
saying.
wanted
So,
better business.
so my question is like, what would you say to somebody that doesn't have a lot of capital? Should they even attempt wholesale, or should they save up? Is there a certain amount that they should save up to kind of go in a little bit? Because I know, like, look, I started retail arbitrage with $8 selling books, right? We talked about how cheap books were, but I know wholesale is like a different animal. So is there like a recommended amount you think people should start with, or is it similar to retail arbitrage where they don't need much?
I think it's a compounding thing, to be honest. I would, if somebody like, I already had people in my life. Obviously, if you have some type of success, like where I'm from, I don't know nobody with a college degree. I don't know nobody with no type of success or anything. They all work jobs. Anybody I know that's doing anything, I do have one person in my life growing up, my brother-in-law who was owned his own roofing company. That was successful, but I didn't know nobody doing nothing, you know. But so there was a book called The Power of Broke by what's his name, Damon John.
Okay.
That's where I learned like about like the USPS envelopes and all that stuff. That's like the power of broke. When you're like, if you think like you're broke, you'll find resources and stuff, you know what I mean, to help you get to what you need.
Yo,
it was like, yeah, so it was like, you know, so what I'll say is I use books. I just say if like, don't touch that money, just pretend like it's not there. Like what you're really investing in at the end of the day is yourself. With all that. And like when the first thing I sold was on eBay. It was a book, right? I made 25 cents at the end of the sale. 25 fucking cents. And my initial thought was, what the fuck? Fuck this. But then I thought, like, I swear to God, I got back in my Pathfinder, my 98 Nissan Pathfinder. And I said, all right, I created 25 cents from A to B. I did this and I made 25 cents. How do I make $1? You know what I mean? Then I made $1. Then how do I make $5? And then how do I make $20 doing this? And, you know, the wheels start turning. It's like the most important thing is not how you start, or it's not what you start with, it's how you start mentally. It's like if you could start gaining like a positive thing, like realizing that any business, not just Amazon, but any business you're starting, if you could see the growth in the business and the growth within yourself and kind of match that up, man, and just focus on that. Don't focus on the money. And notice that, like, dude, when I started with Amazon, I started going to the gym. I started like cutting out a lot of toxic stuff in my life. It was like heaven sent. Amazon was literally like the best thing that ever happened to me, you know?
Until Amazon went up on all their fees and said, screw everybody.
No, but even at the end of the day, man, I'm like, I own a home because of Amazon. I'm not going to say it's all them, but shit, we're 50-50 partners. That's how I look at it. You know, you put the work in, they go get you the customers. You know what I mean, 50-50. Dude, you don't got to get the customers, man. That is a huge,
that is true.
Huge thing, dude. Like
that,
people
and listen, that's why I've been messing
shit.
with the Amazon influencer program. Oh man, bro, you want to talk about
putting makeup on? No,
bro. You know what's funny? Everybody thinks that influencer programs is like girls doing like beauty and makeup tutorials, bro. I'm reviewing everything from light switches to toilet bowl cleaners to software programs to chairs, screws that are in my desk, my actual desk, the laminate that's on the desk, the paint that's on the wall, the monitor, the connecting to the monitor, like extra connectors, that like you can review anything. You can dissect it down, break it down, like my Nintendo Switch. Nintendo Switch can get a review on the Nintendo Switch, the Nintendo Switch dock, the Nintendo Switch Joy-Cons, the Nintendo Switch power adapter, the Nintendo Switch it's like this here, like a pro controller, like this thing here. But you know, that's one product. You get 5 reviews. You just did different aspects of it. You know what I mean?
Now I got a question though. So
yeah.
how do you make money from that? Because I offer this to my fiance, right? Because I'm like, I have like hundreds of SKUs in my warehouse. They all sell on Amazon. If I
Yep.
gave you one of each, you could make 300 fucking reviews.
Bro,
So like,
it
how
would
does
be
the
silly.
reward system work?
Let me just tell you this, right? So you make the video. It could just be a minute or two. It could be however long you want. You know what I mean? But it really only needs to be a minute or two. It's just you giving your opinion on why you like something. That's pretty much it. Why do I like this product? Well, I like this product because X, Y, and Z. And you post it, and Amazon will review it. And once they publish it, it goes onto the Amazon.com website. So it depending on how many people are already on what's called the carousel, depending on who's on that, your video could or could not be on that product listing. When somebody watches your video and buys the product, you make a commission. Each category has different commission rates. You know, home and garden, pet.
Hold on. So even if they don't click on your video, as long as they're on the carousel at the time,
So they have to click on
that's
your
what you're
video.
saying?
They got to click
Okay.
on your. They have to watch your video. But here's what I like about it: if they click on your video, whether they like the video or they don't like the video, it doesn't fucking matter
As long as
if
it
they
took
like it
some
or not.
attention, like
They could watch my video first, watch
they're
somebody
gonna
else's
love it.
video, buy the product, and I'm gonna get the commission. You know what I mean? So if you like the
Oh
video,
wow,
great.
okay.
If you don't like the video, I don't care if you don't like the video because as long as you buy the product, I'm gonna make something.
Yeah.
Now, how they do split commissions and all that, I have no idea. I just review a ton of shit and I make my money. You know what I mean?
So you make money. So you're making money on here?
I'm making money on it. I'm making money on the influencer program so much so that I've been dedicating a lot more time doing that than actually selling on Amazon.
Say no more, man. Say no
like
more. I got my fiance on that shit.
like I started listen, when I first started my first month, I think I did like $130 in commission.
Dude, I would have been
Now
like, what?
now we're doing
Shit.
thousands in commission.
Wow.
And those videos just keep reoccurring. They stay on the product.
So how
And
do you pick which items you like? Is it stuff you're
there,
actually buying or
there are
stuff around the
programs.
house?
There are programs. So I started just reviewing every single item in my house. And obviously I didn't
You just
I,
scan it. It's like, oh, it's on Amazon. Like,
yep. But you have
okay.
to see if it has a
Are
carousel.
you
Just like
having AI doing it, sir? No, just
hell
kidding.
no.
It's like,
Hell
oh, I
no.
love this product. No, just kidding.
No, because you could do face videos or you could do faceless videos where you're just pointing. I shoot everything with my phone. You know what I mean? So everything with my phone. It's
Yeah.
4K, 60 frames per second, quality HD. Like it's just crazy. I used to when I first started, I was sitting in front of this camera, which is my Sony ZV-10. But then I was like, I don't want to sit in front of my desk every time I do a review because I
Yeah.
see people on there and like maybe I want to do something in the kitchen. I don't want to bring the coffee maker in here and do a review. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So I'm like, you know
for
what?
sure.
Screw this. Screw this. I'm just gonna take my phone. I'm gonna start 4K and everything. I did refrigerator, dishwasher, sink, faucets. Like, bro, I'm telling you, I've got over 730 videos so far on there. And
You're the man, dude.
by the end of this year, and listen, this ain't even about me. This is about you. But by the end of this year, I want to have at least 1,500 items on there. I know somebody. I don't want to say any names. I'm trying to get them on the podcast. That I know them personally. They did $137,000 in 9 months.
Off of influencer?
Yep.
Yo,
They had
say no more,
had
bro.
about they
That's
had
the
about
next move.
3,300 products. There's all different strategies that you can do. You know, you could
Bro,
coffee maker, you could make like I could give you ideas on 4 different videos for the same coffee maker, and you could dominate all the videos. Like there's so many different strategies that I've gotten into, and you know, Reezy actually just talked about this at the conference in Miami. He was just talking. His whole
oh
presentation was
wow, he
on the
was there?
influencer. Yeah, he was there,
Oh wow. I'm
and
out of the hip with all that stuff. I don't know.
yeah, and he kind of did he did a slideshow on the influencer program. So I was actually surprised, like, oh, okay, all right, Reese's on this, you know. But yeah, no, it's
That's
cool, man.
something that I always saw, and I brought it up to my fiance. It's just something that like I brought it up as an idea, and it just kind of died. which happens a lot around me. I'm like, hey, I'll tell people, I'm like, there's money here, man. I personally don't want to pursue it, but there's money here, and it kind of go off a cliff.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
now that you say that, I might actually bring that up because
It's no joke. You got people out here making tens of thousands of dollars a month doing reviews.
Dude, my fiance's mother, right? Huge TikToker, man. Tens of thousands of followers. Like, that's something that she could easily jump into and start making some bread, man. Like, and she does that. She, like, people send her products to review and all that stuff. So
she should look into the TikTok shop, because you could do affiliate commission through them too with the same idea. You make videos for the TikTok shop like you would influencer. You just tag the product, and when people buy it, you make a commission. So if she has a big following already, then she can be talking about a product. She'll tag the product. There's a guy who does the influencer program on YouTube. I forget his name, but he started doing videos on the TikTok shop, and he made like 12 grand in his first month doing TikTok shop.
Man, like, let me make 12 grand on the first time doing something.
I'm so sick and tired of these fucking fools out here talking about, oh, I don't know what to do. I can't make any money. I don't know what to do. Like, yo, you got people out here talking on an app like this, looking at us and say, hey, check out this. I love this, blah, blah, blah. And they're making $12K a month. And you're sitting there whining and crying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, you know what it is? Like, sorry about that. No, my nephew, right? For instance, I love him to death, man. He, like I said, he's very charismatic. He's a handsome kid. He's 6 foot something. Like, it kills me that he's working in my warehouse, because like he should be like on the front line, like dressed up to the T, handshaking people, making deals. He's that good. I honestly believe that in him. And I tell him that all the time. But he gets lost at, I don't know what I want. And that question is like, I learned through my life that shit it's irrelevant to what you want, man. And happiness and all that stuff. It's irrelevant. It's what do you have in front of you? And, just gradually just moving through life through that. And you learn so much about yourself that you don't even know where you'll end up. Like, where I'm at right now is bigger than it's better than I could have ever dreamed, 6 years ago, 5 years ago, 4 years ago. Because I talked about these things, but to actually live them is just, I mean, dude, it's better than life. It's like, it's better than any dream or anything because I'm actually living it.
Absolutely.
But people get caught up in that, and that's like a thing, like a common theme in my life with people is they don't know what they want. They don't know what they want. It's like, well, what's in front of you? Like, if you can't do the things that are in front of you, how are you going to ever do anything extraordinary if you just can't do the things that are presented to you in your day-to-day life?
If you can't wake up and make your bed.
Yeah. I learned that
for the record, I don't remember the last time I made the fucking bed. Just saying.
My fiance is a great bed maker.
Yeah, I'm saying. I don't remember the last time I made the damn bed. But if I had to make the bed, I would have to make the bed.
Did you ever go down like the Jordan Peterson rabbit hole?
Listen, I always spoke out against. Listen, I'm a school of hard knocks kind of guy. Yeah. Like, I spent a lot of my time on my lives talking about, like, I don't believe in courses, motivational speakers, because motivational speakers, while it might be good information, motivational speakers, to me, this is just my opinion. Again, I'm going to get a lot of shit for it. But motivational speakers are just there to make yourself feel good and to just kind of pat your ass, right? To be like, I don't like fight tomorrow. We're gonna fight depression. Yeah, let's go. Zippity doo dah. Like Tony Robbins, like, imagine just telling you what you want to hear and getting paid millions of fucking dollars for it. I think he's great. I think motivational speakers have a lot of good information that people sometimes need to hear. But personally, like, as in like one unit, I never bought into that shit. I don't give a fuck what Tony Robbins says. I don't give a shit what's in Rich Dad Poor Dad's book. I don't pick up and read 7 books like people tell you to do. I don't fucking sit there. To me, sitting down and reading a book is a waste of fucking time. It's a waste of
All
time.
right.
If I'm
So
sitting
let
down
me say
reading
this
books,
though.
bro, yo, if I'm sitting reading books, I ain't making money.
No, it's yeah, okay. Okay. All right. I'll let you have that one. Cause you know what? I because I feel like that in certain points of my life. I felt like that. But now, like Tony Robbins, when I was 20, 21 years old, 19, 20, 21, I was super depressed, right? So what I used to do was listen to Tony Robbins, but I didn't like listen to him like one day you're gonna. I didn't do that. I listened to the
Why'd
psychology.
your voice just change like that? Why'd your voice just say one
I don't even
day we're gonna?
know because that's what like
Yeah.
you think that like you're gonna listen to this stuff and you're gonna develop like a psyche, right? That's gonna be like, and then life's gonna be great, and that's not what happens. One thing, when I was I was so depressed, bro, that like I had to figure out psychology. Like I had to go into the brain, how the brain functions and all that stuff. And I think a lot of the stuff that's not sexy that Tony Robbins talks about is the psychology. People focus on the other stuff, the fluff, but it's really the psychology. You know what I mean? And that's why I was driven to in my even right now, honestly, Jordan Peterson, because he talks about the psychology. People get caught up in the motivational, like the videos, the 3-minute videos that have the music in the background. He's
The
talking.
elevator music.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
fuck that, dude. I used to listen to Jordan Peterson's college lectures, bro, for an hour and a half. I'm listening to college lectures when I was a custodian. Okay, like really getting in there, and he taught me how to take accountability for myself, responsibility for myself, and to take responsibility in others around you that aren't taking responsibility in themselves
See, and
because
like I
there's
said,
so much power trapped in them.
and you listen, and that works for you, and it works for
Yeah,
other people. But for me, if I was to sit there and just listen to that, man, to me,
you fall asleep crying,
maybe see,
Rebecca.
I've developed such a, and I tell my wife this all the time because I am the embodiment of I don't give a fuck. Like it's to a point where things will happen in life that naturally a human should be sensitive to. Like you should, if something happens regarding death, you should naturally, so you're going to be upset about it. You're going to be sad about it. Me, I'm not like that. I'm very desensitized,
I
and I don't know
agree.
if
I agree.
I don't know if that has to do with my upbringing and the way I was brought up. You know what I mean? And whatever
Yeah.
happened, but I'm so desensitized. Like I truly I can honestly tell you, I truly don't give a fuck. There's one thing, again, I tell my wife that she can attest to
Hold
this.
on, we gotta go back, bro.
One,
You care if somebody dies. You're just not
I
like,
care.
oh
Yeah,
my
yeah. I
god.
care if my uncle,
My
my
initial
father, my
thought is
mother,
that guy's mourning. Let me leave him alone. I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, I'm so sorry for your loss.
if somebody close to me passes away, of course I'm gonna feel sad. I'm gonna hover, and I might even shed a tear or two, but I'm not weeping in sorrow. And I have this like stoned face that people have come up to me and they're like, dude, like what's wrong with you? Are you not like whatever? And I'm just like, no, I'm just chilling, man. I'm just in my thoughts, whatever. I think a lot of that I honestly to God, I'll tell you right now, I don't really talk about it too often, but I'm
Yeah.
comfortable talking about it now. I think a lot of that really happened back since 2014. My younger brother at the time, he was 24, he passed away, he overdosed. So when he passed away, I think at that point I was so filled with like rage and anger, like why would you do this to yourself kind of thing, and like kind of leave like a mother in a certain situation. A lot of people don't even know I had a brother because I never talk about it. Only people close to me will know that I had a brother, but since 2014 I've never said nothing. I think that 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 instant, I think that situation was like the turning point of me, like the enrage and the anger. You know what I mean? Like that
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. And yo, let me tell you, it's helped me in business. I'll tell you that because when you could go into somewhere stone face and not give a fuck, like you truly don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like you're
Yeah.
just like you just go in. There's no emotion behind your dealings, and you're just working it. You know what I mean? So
No,
it is what it
that's
is, man.
something that is like when it comes to business, there is some people, man, that are younger than me, that are just a little bit older than me, and then some seasoned, people that have been here for a while. And I'm like, God damn, they're good. They're like willing to walk away from this deal
Right,
over
right,
like 10
right,
cents a unit. And I'm just
right,
like,
right.
I,
Right.
I still don't have that like I don't have that willing and dealing. Like, I'll fucking walk away right. Like, because it's like I don't know. But I see it in a lot of people. I get exactly what you talk about. Like some people don't get like they come off as they don't give a fuck,
They don't give a
and
fuck. And
and that is something
those are the
that
people you're
is.
gonna watch out for, because those are the people that will run you under the table, man. They there's no emotion behind what they do and why they do it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
friends are folk. Though you would think, okay, some of the people I deal with on like a weekly basis in this business, and I'm just like, man, like what the fuck? He just called me. He's like, hey, how's the kids? And we're chatting it up and shit. And then like the next deal is like war. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, throw me a bone here, man. Like, there's no freebies in this fucking business, man. Like, when it gets down to it, like, you could have a great relationship and all that. At the end of the day, it's business. You can't, you gotta, like, it's kind of a battle. Like, every time you're in negotiation, it's like a sword fight. Somebody wins the negotiation, or maybe both of y'all bow out. And then the object is to just remain your friendship in between deals and all that, like your relationship in between deals, because you could get into some heated negotiations with people, but if it
Oh, of
doesn't work
course.
out, it doesn't work out, and you guys go, all right, fuck it.
And now
It happened too
it
a couple
happens.
times. Yeah,
It is what it is. And then that's a saying you're gonna be careful of too when people say that. It is what it is. That's the telltale sign of someone who really doesn't give a fuck.
yeah.
Hey, your warehouse is on fire. Psst. I mean, whatever happens, man. It is what it is.
Yeah, and but you know what? That's why I swear I always tell people the reason why I am where I am is because I showed up when I wasn't motivated. I showed up when I was sick. I showed up when I didn't want to be here. I showed up when all things were wrong, and
Yep.
I also showed up when everything was going right. You know what I mean? Like you just show up constantly, bro. And dude, I done bought shit. Okay, like $20,000 of a product, overpaid for it, and like, and I sell a lot of cosmetics. Like Amazon dropped the price down like $4 the next day, and I just bought twenty thousand
Mm-hmm.
dollars worth of this product,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just like, all right, that's my attitude. All right, I'm gonna have it for a while, and I move on to the next thing. I do not focus on losses at all,
Right.
at all. You focus on a loss, you're blocking all the good that's gonna come your way, all the
You
good
put your big boy pants
successful stuff.
on and you're like, all right,
You
we
suck it
got
up.
this.
You made the decision and
Just gonna move on
just
to the next thing.
take it on the chin. I got a tough chin. I'll
And
tell
now,
you that.
speaking of moving on to the next best thing, you have a big warehouse, man. Well, how big is your warehouse?
It's 12,000 square feet.
12,000 square feet, and now you're
Yeah.
strictly wholesale. Now you're just doing wholesale.
Yes, we sell on Amazon wholesale, and then we also sell wholesale as well.
So like you doing all this stuff, man. And I ask everybody this. It's just because it boggles my mind, right? Because I never went to a warehouse. I always worked out of my garage. Right now I have like a couple of storage units, but it's not the same as a warehouse at all. I'm not accepting
Yeah.
deliveries. I'm not prepping pallets now and all that stuff, right? But like you're doing all this stuff. You're moving. You're selling. You're doing almost $4 million a year, like we said in the beginning. You got a 12,000 square foot warehouse. Where does Mike have time for family? Where do you fit it in?
So I fit. You know how I fit it in? Honestly, is I have a 4-year-old daughter. One's gonna be 2 in July, and I have a one that was just born in December, so she's about to be 4 months. Um, with my first daughter, I missed like the first 2 years, 2.5 years of her life because I was working constantly. When I was doing retail arbitrage, that shit took a lot out of me. It's not easy. I don't. It's a
Mhm.
fucking grind. It's
It is a
really a
grind.
grind. I used
Yep.
to work no bullshit. 12-hour days will be a light day, to say the least. So Now it's I the way I operate is as long as we're sending out enough goods to there's money being made every day. As long as money's being made every day, and if I could get home to my family by 5, 6, 7 o'clock, then I'm happy with that. And then another thing that I learned is when we go on vacation, do it fucking big.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so
Yeah,
when
I
we
did
do
too.
something, we do it. Like I do, we go to Puerto Rico every year, and I rent like these for like the week. It's like $15,000, bro. It's like this beautiful fucking house with like infinity pools and fucking 5 bedrooms, 5 bath with right on the beach. Like, we're gonna do it. We're gonna live life. We're gonna enjoy it, and like, so we do a lot of that in between and throughout the year, like where it's like, you know, for Easter, I was home all weekend. Didn't work at all the weekend. I stood home. I put all the shit together, like I did everything. Like we sat outside, had family over, lit a fire, was playing those. We got those big Connect Fours, like
Oh yeah,
the
yeah,
yard
yeah.
ones. We're like,
Yep.
just hanging out, man, like just in the moment. I think that it's important to do that when you do it, to be like all in, full body, do it, because to be honest, on a day to day, I get home, even if it's 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, I'm fucking beat mentally. And I got three young girls, like they're on top of me for 3 hours, dude. Like, just daddy's home. Like, oh my God.
Yep.
Like, I can't even like do anything. So, it's all I want to, it's nothing in my life is balanced, but I just learned, like, and even through some of my mentors talk about how when they were younger and they were having kids, that they wish they spent a lot more time with them. And just me seeing how like my 4-year-old to me, she's grown already. I'm like, you're already, like, I'm like, you're out the door. I already see you already
I
evolved,
know.
girl.
I got a
But I
4-year-old
know
too.
she did it. But in my head, I'm like, damn, because I'm watching this 2-year-old that's starting to learn how to talk, and then watching my 4-year-old talk, and I'm like, you already got it. So it's like, I don't want to miss that with them, like, and to me, making more money, like, dude, there's only so much money we need at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like, as long as you got money in the right places set up where, emergency, uh, investments, business, as long as everything can maintain itself in harmony, for me, I'm like, I'm good, bro. Because if I got this far with my little bit of knowledge,
Hmm.
at I want to say young, I'm not in my early 20s, I'm 32, but I don't know 32-year-olds that have fucking $10,000 to spare. So I'll say I'm doing
$500 to spare.
yeah, exactly. I don't know shit. I don't know what anybody doing well, honestly.
How speaking of doing well, how have you navigated like with the whole economy and the whole inflation thing and like products, goods going like even higher? How did you maintain to keep your business level, or have you faced any obstacles with the current state of like the economy?
So what I used to do was, so say if we didn't have enough shipments, because our thing, we ship out every day. Every day we're shipping out. So if we didn't have a shipment, say if I didn't have a shipment for Thursday and I knew it's Tuesday, right? Because I try to pre-make all my shipments.
Hmm.
If it's Thursday or Friday, whatever, I didn't have a shipment. I was missing a shipment for the week. We used to go to like Costco's and BJ's and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And dude, Costco's, BJ's, I stopped a little earlier. But Costco's, the inflation was so bad. Like, I mean, bad, dude. I used to buy like an item for $7, $8. It was like $11. Like,
Oh,
all the profit just sucked out of it. And for some reason, Amazon's pricer was lower than ever. And to this day, it still is. I don't understand it.
I
You
swear
know, like,
Amazon went on this spending spree, man. Started buying up all the seller shit because it's an option in Amazon's thing that
oh,
allows
and I
Amazon.
love that option, dude. You ever
Yeah.
buy? I bought vitamin gummies, okay? That Amazon will buy them 30 at a clip, one like in one night, okay? I'll just look through my sales and it's like 30, 50, 100, 75. $60. I'm like, yes,
Yeah, I mean, look,
spend
I
it
think
more.
it's a great option, but I think over
Yeah.
the whole pandemic thing, I think Amazon was tracking data with all these products, right, to get information, and then they were just buying it at the cheapest price they could find it to flip it themselves, and that's why they could sell it so low on a lot of these
Yeah.
products because they would just they're big data trackers. You know what I mean?
hmm No, the hugest,
So
but
what do you find is a good is like one of your best selling products now?
my best selling product right now is nail polish. I bought 50,000 pieces of nail polish.
50,000.
50,000.
What does that cost a
And
unit?
for me it was 45 cents.
45 cents a unit.
Yeah, it's like a specialty nail polish.
Hell yeah.
It's a merchant fulfilled item because I still cannot get flammable inventory like for Amazon. Like, dude, I'm
Oh.
still at a 1 cubic foot, and I submitted. And listen, I submitted
50,000 nail
from
polishes ain't gonna fit in 1 cubic foot.
no for sure. No, it's a lot, but they're 10 packs. It's like a multi pack, and they sell for
Mhm.
like $25. So my buy cost is $4.50. Ship cost
Oh
is
my
usually around
god.
$6. So and we sell a lot. Like that's a merchant fulfilled item now. On a weekend, we could sell a bunch of them. It's a pain in the ass to prep them.
Yeah. Because
And
they're
the only
glass,
reason
right? So you probably have to bubble wrap them and stuff.
yeah, and it's 10 different units. So you got to realize you're taking out of 10 different boxes to make one ASIN. So it's just like,
Mm.
so like I said, I sell wholesale. So like that's a product that I don't offer to all my customers because I have a lot of customers I prep for. I only offer to my larger Amazon sellers that can prep themselves. But like, yeah, so they'll buy. They just bought 504 10 packs off of me. I pack them up, ship it to them. I'm selling them FBM. They're selling them Amazon FBA.
So you said selling to other Amazon sellers,
Yeah.
which which means that not only are you doing wholesale, but you're actually wholesaling out to other sellers. So you're not just doing wholesale, you're not just buying from distributors and selling wholesale. You're buying and selling to other Amazon sellers and you're providing the wholesale price yourself as a
Yes.
distributor.
Yep. And what and because you gotta realize there's like levels to this shit, right? That I'm
Mhm.
learning, like I gotta perfect. But you know, there's a way to like buy a product. I buy closeout. Like I try to focus on closeout items. So if I buy 5,500, say 5,500 units of something,
Yep.
which maybe it only sells 200 times a month, right? And I sell it to 5 different sellers at a markup, right? And then I list it myself. So when I sell it myself, I'm making the biggest return I can make on it, but I'm getting a lot of money back selling it to other sellers. But then when they sell, they're also I split profits too. I'm not like, oh, I know it, it's $4 profit, so I could raise it up to this price, and they're only gonna make $1.50. And
Mm.
I don't do that shit, bro. I make sure that when somebody buys something from me, that they're making more money than I am on the sale.
We'll
Like,
have to leave all your like information in the description of the video too if anybody wants to check you out. You have a website and stuff, right?
so what happened was on March 1st, Google, I used to have like just a Google website. I had my
Yeah.
information there. Google got rid of their Google websites. So
Ah,
I have a woman making me just a landing page for now.
okay.
And then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to just have a landing page so that people could leave their contact information and all that stuff, and they could see what we're about. But my end goal is to have a functioning website. People could come place orders, like where it's really hassle free. There's a couple of distributors I use that have websites, not many, but they have websites, and since it's so flawless to place the order, I really
Mm.
like that. And I know a lot of Amazon
Makes it
sellers.
easy.
Yeah, I know a lot of Amazon sellers struggle to pick up the phone and call and all that stuff. So it's like, all right, like if we could just streamline this, But at the same time, I don't want too many Amazon sellers because then it's just the prices go to shit on Amazon and the opportunity is smaller. So like right now we function through spreadsheets and stuff like that. And I really only deal with customers that are buying, over $5,000 at a time. I do not put limits on people. I have local customers that come pick up from me, and only play some no bullshit. Dude came up for it was like $188. It was like 2 cases or something. And I still give them the opportunity, because that's how I started. I started off buying a couple of cases here and there from distributors.
So
I'm
wait,
not
so
gonna
wait.
block the price,
Hold
bro.
on. Somebody sound the alarm. Did you just say you have no MQ?
I have none. No.
I don't know anybody.
All you gotta do is buy the case.
So if you
That's
guys
it.
are out there listening to this, I don't know another distributor, business, wholesaler, anybody that does not have
That's not true, man.
zero
You're looking
MQ.
in the
Who
wrong
has
places.
MQ? Every place has MQ.
All of
Unless
my
you're paying.
distributors that I deal with, none of them have minimum order quantity, man.
The reason why they're watching this goddamn podcast is they don't know the fucking distributors. They have no idea they have no idea what to find. They don't know how to Google. They don't know how to do any of that shit.
No, Google really does not help you in this game. Google does not help you, bro.
I know.
It doesn't. It
It's
sucks.
crazy.
No, but the reason why I don't have a minimum order quantity is because, I'm not gonna block. If I say $5,000, I don't want somebody, putting together a $2,500 order with me to get it up to 5,000, or putting 2,500 or something they want and then buying some fluff. I don't like
Right,
that. I
like
don't see the
fillers,
point
just
of
so they
that
can
shit.
meet the
Yeah,
quantity. Yeah.
dude, I'll tell you something. I done spent a lot of money, man, on filler items to make myself look bigger than I am and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite distributors I deal with, he's a mentor to me. He said, "Listen, you the way you buy now, you don't have to do that no more, and don't think that you have to fluff your orders up or anything to make people respect you, because I promise you, you got real money. You always pay on time. Blah 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 blah. You don't have to do that no more." And when he told me that, I said, "You know what? I'm not doing that no more." And I
You were
stopped doing it.
like,
Yeah, and it wasn't just from one; it was multiple. But it was at the time. It was, I was still kind of doing that. And then he told me, "You don't have to do that with me no more, man. Like, I know you're a serious buyer. I know you're a serious, you're serious about your business." And I was like, you know what? I was like, damn, I appreciate that, man. Like, fuck. It's hard getting a pat on the back in this business, man. Ain't nobody patting you on the back the other day. So if
nobody.
it's somebody that you respect that does it, that should just, just makes you feel like $1,000,000, man.
So Mike went from being a custodian to picking up some books, selling them on Amazon, making a little bit of money, doing that for a couple years, transitioned into retail arbitrage, did books, retail arbitrage, went to stores, Ollie's, was mending relationships, was meeting people, was talking to people, then decided to go the wholesale route, started doing wholesale simultaneously with retail arbitrage, eventually cutting off retail arbitrage to focus solely on wholesale, decided to go wholesale in a 12,000 square foot warehouse, and then not only do wholesale to sell on Amazon, but to provide other sellers with wholesale items. What is next for Mike? What's the next thing for Mike? Does Mike want to stay in the game of Amazon and wholesale, or do you want to pivot into something else and have like somebody else run your company, or like what's the next, like what is a $4 million a year business thinking about? Like, what's your next step?
I think for me anyway, it's I always try to keep a door open on everything I do, so that if one door, like if Amazon closes, I got wholesale. If wholesale closes, I got this. So like my next thing is really this year is to just really get my foot in the door of wholesale, getting better deals and giving up. Because we talked off camera, but
Mm-hmm.
my end goal with this is to wing off of Amazon and just strictly just become wholesale and to have retail customers, Amazon, eBay, Walmart, just whoever, just customers of all kinds buying from me. So that's my next goal is to harness better negotiation skills, digging deeper into, relationships I have already and creating new ones just to get more in the industry of wholesale right now.
Okay.
Just so that if Amazon if something does happen with Amazon, I got another avenue, and also I kind of want to get away from Amazon at one point in the near future, and then also while I'm doing that, open the door up to maybe podcasting, something that doesn't require money or nothing, like something that honestly requires my time and attention and requires me. Like it's this is something that I shit you not, man. Since I was a kid, I always said I'm gonna get paid for the words I speak. So
It's
I
funny you
hope,
said that. It's funny you said that because that was going to be my next question. My next question was going to be, do you see yourself transitioning more into social media and maybe documenting and uploading more YouTube videos, whether it's surrounding your warehouse or like you just said to me, some kind of podcast where you want to share information to help others or whatnot, but maybe documenting your journey in your warehouse without having to give away the products that you're selling, right? But like, any it seems like there are plans that you do want to move into that direction as an avenue.
definitely. Like I have a podcast published on all podcast platforms that I never promoted or nothing, and to be honest, those I listen to them quite often. I uploaded like 3-4 videos, and they were all about me working when I was a custodian, talking about how I want to buy a home, how I want to do this, how I want to do that, and how I accomplish all those things. So I'm like, it's just a message to myself, and I go back and I listen to those all the time. That's something that I would like to do more and more, and to post. Like we talked before, and I was saying, who am I to give advice or anything like that? It always feels fraudulent to me. I always have like what they call it, like an imposter syndrome, because I'm like, how the fuck did I get here? Like there's nothing special about me. Like, and what I'm doing, if you look at everybody in the whole world, it's it looks special. It's just like when I look at the next vision of myself and all that, I see like somebody that has a lot of growing to do and all that. So it's always a challenge on who am I to, get on here and
Yep.
act like I'm anything but myself.
Yep. Yep.
So but
Man.
there, it's who knows. It's right now it's wholesale, man. It's just getting in there and just getting the next thing carved out, getting the next lane figured
Right.
out so that I'll have longevity. Simple as that, you know.
Right. Right. Man. Well, look, we shared a lot of great information. We've gone from A to Z. Was there anything else you wanted to talk about? We really went from A to Z, and we talked about from how you started to where you're going in the future, man. Is there any pieces of advice or anything you'd want to tell anybody watching this that might have aspirations to get into wholesale or selling on Amazon or maybe wanting to jump on social media? What can you tell them as a piece of advice?
I would say to just start now, man. Like you don't gotta have it figured out, man. Like simple as that. Anything I've ever succeeded in, I overthought like a motherfucker. Like even starting Amazon took me 2 months, but I listened to podcasts and stuff. I prepared myself for things that I didn't even know I would find myself in those scenarios until I did. But when I did, I was prepared. But
Mm-hmm.
I would say just start. Like if you want to do podcasts, just start the podcast. Like just create the
Just
name and
jump
the
in.
freaking logo. Like
Just jump
download a
in.
logo app and just fuck with it. Boom, do that. And then, you know, just record yourself fucking around, man. Like, or just be serious, like you're talking to yourself. Like the way I framed it was, I'm gonna leave a message for my future self. And those were the only ones I ever recorded. Everything else kind of fizzled away when I thought about it too much. So, you know, anything you have, especially with Amazon, do is just like create an account, get started there. Like do a merchant fulfilled account and give yourself little challenges of like, all right, let me find a product that will actually sell on the platform. Maybe you lose $1 or $2. All right, you sold something. How do I make it profitable? Find another product. All right, this one's profitable. This one I made $1 on. Okay, how do I just set these little tiny goals, man, and just focus on that. And while you're doing that, you might have to start an eBay account. You might have to sling some shit on Facebook that you bought wrong that was just not good, and you just want to liquidate. There's these all these other little routes are going to open up, but it's just about starting and challenging yourself, because by doing that, you learn about yourself. And the more you learn about yourself, that's what it's all about, because that's what they can't take from you at the end of the day is your knowledge, man. And the person you're becoming when you are trying to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish. It's the man that you're becoming that's important. It's not the things you accomplish. That's what I'll say, man. Just get started, man. Just make a decision.
I like that. I like that.
Yes, sir.
I like that.
And I also want to say there is like what we talked about is just a fraction of what I have to say, man. I'm telling you, like we had to cut a lot of things down. But I could do this another 10 times and I swear I won't repeat the same word twice. I'm telling you, bro, I got a lot to say, man. I hope this adds value to the viewers, and you know.
I bet, man. I mean, listen, anybody who scales up making $500 a week to doing $4 million a year, bro, there's something to be said there. You know what I mean?
But we didn't even talk about how I'm a convicted felon.
I didn't know. I didn't know.
And how I couldn't even get a job, and I ended up getting a job in the school as a convicted felon because when I was 14 years old and I got arrested, they forgot to fingerprint me. And that's how the Board of Ed, they do their background checks is through fingerprints. And that was a blessing from God that I was able to get that job, bro.
You escaped that shit.
You get what I'm like? There's so much, bro. It's like there's a lot that goes into life, you know. It's just like how I started is it took a lot to get to that point to become that man to even start Amazon, man. I'm telling you, bro.
It's funny because I know two, maybe three, maybe not the third, but definitely two other Amazon sellers that are also convicted felons, and they do very well. You know what I mean?
I'm telling you, man.
They do very well, you know?
Dude, when I had to rent this building, bro, they had to do a background check. And I met with the lady and I told her my story. And I shit you not, she was fucking in tears, bro. She was in tears the way I explained my life to her. Like, yes, sign the bill. She's like, let's sign the paperwork. Like, you deserve this opportunity and all this, because it's like, this shit is my life, man. You know what I mean? Shit. Straight up. Like, that's the thing. Like with you, man, I don't know. I don't know if you're gonna keep none of this, but I don't really know where you came from. I don't really know. I know Richie from Amazon, but I don't know Richie. You know what I mean?
Right. No,
bro, that's a whole other. Like, but people want to hear that shit too, man. You know what I mean? Because they might be the Richie before Amazon.
You know, it's funny because
Michael before Amazon.
I thought about running a podcast episode just by myself, like a show, just me talking about like my start and my finish and my beginning and whatever. But I don't know if it'll be boring to some people, so I'm just like,
bro, that shit is. I think is if it's something you need to do, then it's not. Somebody gonna love it,
right?
You know what I mean? Straight up,
yes, sir.
I'm looking at the screen. I see you talking. I'm like, yo, I can see you like motherfucking Howard Stern or some shit over there, bro. You're looking really comfortable.
Hey, we got the neck pillow here. You know what I mean? We got the neck pillow. We got the lumbar pillow down here, man. But I'm telling you, man, I've had this chair for so long, man. The ass pillow, bro. Yeah, that shit needs work, bro. I need to get like a different pillow because that shit's like flat. Yo, it's like sitting in a hard chair, man. I need to get a new chair.
Lawyer's chair, bro.
Bro, those office chairs are the best chairs, man.
But look, this chair though, it leans back so
Oh,
perfect.
for
I'm
real?
just like,
Oh.
I love it. Your shit lays down flat.
Oh shit, it does. Yo, my green screen gonna come down, bro. Hold on, let me fix this green screen. I put my shit too far back, and then it comes up like so that you're sitting up, so that it's like you can't like push back. So I try to lean it back a little bit.
I know I don't have like a large following or anything, and I don't have too much content for people to come back to. But I hope you get a great response for this.
Well, listen,
And
you know what you do have?
What's that?
You have a great sounding microphone.
I do.
And you have pretty good video quality compared to some of these other people I've seen. So I appreciate that.
I had this for podcasting, bro.
I have my Elgato. I have my gaming shit. I have everything running through here, man. It's crazy.
Or because your shit, like, I think the black background is like the light on mine looks like
check this out. If I wanted to, check this out. Ready? Watch this. Ready? Let me see. Oh, wait, ready? We got the piano in the background, right? Wait, it gets better. Ready? Ready? We on vacation.
Yo, that's what the house in Puerto Rico looks like.
We got different Amazon, but I'm blocking it.
You know, bro, I want one of those. Yo.
Ready? Wait, we got.
Oh my god!
In the room. Look, this is my library right here. This is.
Bro, I want one of those. It's so bad. That's so fun. All right,
Big Mike, man, I appreciate you being here. Where can people find you on social media? Is it the I am Mike I_am_ M1KE?
Yes, that's on Instagram. Yes,
now,
sir.
Now listen, you're gonna give me an email, right? Because I know you said you're working on a website. You can give me an email that I can put in the description if people want to reach out to you to find out more information about getting a catalog or anything like that.
Absolutely. It's gonna be sales@8020distributors.com. Spelled out 8020distributors.com.
So you hear that? So I've literally given you a distributor. This is an actual distributor who is going to give you wholesale prices. Nobody is going to tell you distributors. You just got one here from making it through this video. Okay. So I hope you appreciate that.
and also, if you have any doubts or anything like that with ungating, or if you think the invoices aren't going to work, I'll give you a free invoice. And so if you need ungating and say Revlon, L'Oreal, if it works for you, then you can purchase from me. There's no gimmick here. There's nothing. I want to see people succeed, and as simple as that. So there's no risk, man.
This guy right here, you see him?
So
remember his name, man. Remember his name.
Yes, sir.
Big Mike, man. Thank you so much for coming on the Boss Podcast. I appreciate you being the boss in this episode, and I wish you all the best, man. I'm sure we'll definitely talk going forward, and we keep in touch. You know what I mean? But I appreciate you being here.
Yes, sir, man. Thank you for having me, bro. This was great. This is a blessing, man. Thank you.